An organization serving all of New England tries to help grassroots efforts in protecting the environment. To tell us about the New England Grassroots Environment Fund and an upcoming summit is our guest, the fund's program coordinator, Nakia Navarro. Thank you very much for being with us, Nakia.
Thank you for having me.
I said helping the environment, but there's more to just keeping the trees in the woods here. We're talking about people, really.
Absolutely. So we take a holistic approach to all things green. Yes, our focus areas, of course, are food, land, water, energy, but we want to really work with non-traditional green organizations and say, that's great that you have this domestic violence program, but what about starting a community garden and getting those domestic violence clients in that garden and putting their hands in the soil? That's going to do a lot of therapeutic things, build food options for that community, and just really taking a green look to all things that we do in our community.
Well, I know one of the oldest examples of the gardening was in the Fenway, because that goes back to World War II, and there were food shortages at the time, so people had to fill the gap. I guess that's one of the reasons that was started, and you support that program, so.
Absolutely. We've been around for over 20 years doing this work, and we see ourselves as the People's Fund. People give us money so that we can do green things in the community.
Well, in the rest of Boston, you're also doing things to fill the gap, especially in access to healthy food. Talk about some of those projects.
Sure. So we work with groups like the Mattapan, again, Food and Fitness Coalition, our Green Cambridge, Rosendale Food Forest. What we're trying to do is give them seed money to start big things, right? So we have small giving grant programs, $3,500, $5,000, and $1,000. And if you have an idea, or you just can't stand that the pipeline is coming in and all these gases are going to be really killing the community, come to us and we'll not only give you funding, but we'll give you training on how to organize, how to build capacity, how to learn about alternative energy opportunities, just so you can really be that grassroots organizer that we need.
No, it might not be a whole lot of money, but it's nice how different pieces come together. In Mattapan, you've got the farmers market, you have these events to promote biking, you've got this whole new extension of the Greenway that's going to be opening pretty soon. So these things have a way to sort of steamroll.
Absolutely. So that's why we call it seed funding. We want to get that idea going and again build that capacity so these groups can really have that stamp of approval to understand that these dollars are just the beginning of your great work. So
we're talking with Nakia Navarro from the New England Grassroots Environment Fund. There's also something you have going on in Jamaica Plain too.
Yes. So again, same type of idea. We partner with a lot of Haymarket Fund groups, organizations who are just getting started. So it's one person or maybe two people and they want to start a community garden, or they are interested in having a food bagging program. They come to us and we fund them.
Well, one of the other things you're working on is resiliency, and people saying, we keep hearing that word. What does that mean?
It means how to work in a capitalistic society without capitalistic lenses, right? So how to see everyone with value. Everyone around the table in our community has some value. So let's start things like timeshares. Let's start things where we have a community garden, and just because somebody rode or hoed that land, they're going to get crops, but also maybe they'll get some babysitting hours someplace else so they can go to work and not have to pay for work. So it's just really thinking big at this thing called just transition.
You got to explain to people who don't do community gardening, but the socializing that goes on around these places.
Yes. I think the best example would be some of the work we've done with more refugee communities. They are farmers, that's their trade in their country. And when they come here, they're a bit lost trying to figure it out. Put them in a community garden. Now they feel at home. Now they start talking about things that they need, what's going on in their community, and they gossip. And it's a good time. So it's building community by just putting your hands in the ground.
Well, speaking of attempts to get people to talk, you have a summit coming up fairly soon. Talk about that.
Yes, so September 17th, we're having a sustainability summit. It will be at Smith College. We're in partnership with Bar Foundation and Co-op Power. We have everything you need to even think about, dream about on alternative energy sources, how a non-traditionally green group can get into the energy realm, doing a lot of crossover work, and again, that just transition. Everyone sitting around the same table, having value, doing this green work.
Well, if people want to get some more information, whether it's about pursuing a grant or even just running an idea by you or getting involved, what's the best way for them to do that?
They can do a lot of things. They can contact me at Nakia, Nakia, at grassrootsfund.org, or go to our website, grassrootsfund.org.
All right, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Nakia Navarro.